Hello, everyone. Today I have an amazing story for you. It's not just for your listening practice, but also to inspire you. The story is called Nothing is Free, and it shows how hard work and determination can truly change lives. There was a young man named Leo, just 20 years old, living in a small, quiet town surrounded by mountains. Leo had big dreams. He wanted to own a chain of restaurants one day and become a successful entrepreneur. But life wasn't easy. His father, Mark, was a mechanic. His mother, Claire, cleaned houses to support the family. And his little sister, Sophie, only 10 years old, saw Leo as her hero. One cold evening, Leo sat outside his small house, looking at the stars. He whispered to himself, "Want to give my family a better life. But how can I start when we barely have enough to survive?" The next day, Leo shared his dream with his father. Mark sighed and said, "Son, dreams are not free. If you want something, you have to fight for it. Start small. Start with what you have." Those words stayed with Leo. He thought deeply and soon got an idea. People in his town loved fresh bread, but the only bakery was far away. He decided to sell fresh bread locally. But there was a problem. Leo had no money to buy bread. Still, he didn't give up. He walked miles to meet the bakery owner, Mr. Anderson, a grumpy old man who trusted no one. With confidence, Leo said, "Sir, I want to sell your bread in my town. I don't have money to pay in advance, but please trust me for 1 week. I'll sell it, return your payment, and keep a small profit." Mr. Anderson looked at him and asked, "Why should I trust you?" Leo replied, "Because I'm determined. I'll work hard and prove it to you." After a pause, Mr. Anderson agreed. "All right, 1 week. If you fail, don't come back." Leo was thrilled. Early next morning, he carried the bread to his town and set up a small stand near the park. He greeted everyone with a smile, saying, "Fresh bread, warm and delicious." At first, people ignored him. But Leo offered free samples, and soon he sold his first loaf. By evening, everything was gone, and he had made a small profit. He returned to Mr. Anderson, paid him, and the old man nodded. "You kept your word. Come again tomorrow." From that day, Leo worked tirelessly. He woke up at 4 a.m., walked to the bakery, carried bread to town, and sold it with passion. After 2 months, he saved enough to buy a small cart. Now he could sell even more. One day, a customer said, "Leo, you're great at selling. Why don't you bake your own bread?" The idea scared him. He had never baked before. But he realized the truth. Nothing is free. Not success, not knowledge, not growth. If I want to move forward, I must learn. So, the next morning, Leo asked Mr. Anderson to teach him baking. Mr. Anderson frowned. "Why should I teach you? If you bake, you won't buy from me." Leo smiled and said, "You gave me my first chance. I'll never forget that. If I succeed, I'll make sure to help your bakery too." The old man thought for a moment and finally said, "Fine. But baking is hard. It takes time, patience, and discipline. If you're ready, I'll teach you." And so Leo began his lessons. He arrived at 3 a.m. every morning. He mixed flour, kneaded dough, and learned to bake. At first, it was a disaster. His hands hurt. His bread was too hard or too soft. One day, after ruining another batch, he said sadly, "Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should give up." But then he remembered his father's words, "Dreams are not free." He stood up and tried again. Day by day, his bread got better. After 2 weeks, Mr. Anderson smiled and said, "This is perfect, Leo. You're ready." Leo was overjoyed. He started baking at home, with his family's support. Sophie helped pack the bread, and his mother made tea as he worked late into the night. Soon, Leo's bread became popular. He added cookies and pastries, and people loved them. But one day, a new bakery opened, owned by a young man named Eric. Eric had a fancy shop, bright lights, and beautiful cakes. Leo's customers began to leave. For a moment, Leo was scared. But instead of giving up, he decided to grow. He asked customers for feedback, decorated his cart, learned cake designing from library videos, and offered free samples again. Slowly, his customers returned. One day, an old woman told him, "Many young men quit when life gets hard. But you didn't. That's why people trust you." Months passed. Leo finally rented a small shop. It wasn't big, but it was warm and welcoming. He named it Leo's Fresh Bakes. His family helped him run it, and business flourished. But life wasn't done testing him. One stormy night, a fire broke out in his bakery. Leo managed to stop the flames, but much of his equipment was destroyed. The next morning, people gathered outside, whispering,
"Maybe this is the end for him." Leo felt heartbroken, but not defeated. He said, "I've faced challenges before. I'll face this one too. I won't give up." He asked his old mentor, Mr. Anderson, "Sir, what would you do if you were me?" Mr. Anderson smiled. "Leo, you already know the answer. Nothing is free. Work harder, and others will help you too." And that's what happened. Leo started baking again at home, using what little he had. His customers respected his courage. They helped. Some gave ingredients, others helped repair the shop. After months of effort, Leo's bakery reopened, better than ever. He added new items like cupcakes and muffins, painted the walls, and welcomed everyone with a smile. On the reopening day, the town's mayor said, "Leo, you've proved that with determination, anything is possible." Leo smiled and said, "Nothing in life is free. Not success, not love, not respect. Everything must be earned through hard work, patience, and persistence." His bakery became a symbol of hope. People from nearby towns came to meet the young man who never gave up. Leo's story teaches us: 1. Dreams are not free. They demand effort and sacrifice. 2. Failure is not the end, it's a lesson. 3. Help yourself first and others will help you too. 4. Never give up. The darkest times come just before success. Leo didn't just build a bakery, he built a life of purpose, respect, and pride. And so can you. Remember, nothing is free, but everything is possible.